Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Well, today here in northern Ohio, by the coast of Lake Erie, it's going to be 87 degrees. I didn't think it was going to get that warm anymore, but we're supposed to get rain and then it's supposed to cool down some. So you never know, the weather can surprise you. But anyway, we'll take what we can get. So I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing today. My daughter called yesterday and said, "Do you want to go for coffee tomorrow?" So we'll be going for a cup of coffee and a little treat. That'll be my breakfast this morning. And then I'll go on from there, see if it's going to be raining. Now, right now, it's just a little cloudy, but it doesn't look like it's going to rain right now. So you never know. We really desperately need the rain though, so it's okay. But I was surprised it was going to get that warm again. So I'm having snickerdoodle coffee with caramel macchiato creamer and cold foam. Sounds good. Cheers. And I'm having coffee with Bob this morning. So I still have lots to do. And, as you get older, it takes you a while to get things done. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes, but got to keep going. So I'm finding as I get older, I think that's why most older people downsize, because they just can't keep up with what they used to do. And, slowly over the years, that gets to be more so. But, that doesn't mean you can't have the things that you love and things that you need and want. So it's a balance. You got to figure out what it is you really, really need. And I can understand now why a lot of older people just keep what they have and don't keep switching things around like they did when they were younger. Now, some people are like that their whole life. They just buy something and then they keep it like forever. And other people like a little bit more variety because they kind of get bored with what they have. There's no right or wrong. It's just the way it is. So, okay, I'm going to go finish my coffee. I'm going to go relax for a little bit before I go out. And depending on what the weather's doing, maybe today I'll feel better and get a little bit more accomplished in the garden. So we'll see. Well, it's the end of the day, and I went to have coffee with my daughter and my granddaughter, and it was fun. They were busy there today. It's a relatively new little coffee shop. It's basically right down the street from where we live, and very nice people, but it seems like their business is growing, so that's good. Every week they have different specials of coffee, and they have some bakery there. So, it's not cheap. None of the coffee shops are, but it does have a nice ambiance there. It's nicely decorated for like fall and things. So we enjoy going there, and the coffee's good. So I don't overdo it with going out for coffee. I almost prefer to make coffee at home, but I like going out for coffee with my daughter once in a while. So I don't, go out and have coffee every day. But if you like to do that, that's great. Then you should do that. But it does get to be expensive. So, and since I'm trying to pay off my bill or my tires, still working on it, you know, for what I spend, or for what we spend, because we take kind of turns paying for the coffees and the pastries, I can buy groceries for several days for what I spend on that. So anyway, not a real productive day. We finally did get rain, but I don't know. I think it's because I worked so hard in the garden that now I'm very hesitant to take it apart. It's kind of a bittersweet thing because it seems like I just got it finished and now it's already time to take it apart. But I'm hoping to enjoy the garden more next year because I won't have all the heavy work to do. There'll still be some things that I have to do, like adding more compost to my little raised beds and also putting more mulch down. I have to do that every year, but it's not so bad. So I've got my little scarecrow here, and I have my mirror, my lit up mirror, and it's a real nice ambiance. Dropping things off my lap here. And in the evenings, it's nice to have a little bit of mood lighting. I'm a big fan of mood lighting. I enjoy that. The only time I like really bright lights, I can't seem to get this right. There we go. The only time I like really bright lights is when I'm trying to read or do something close up where I need a bright light. Other than that, I like a dim light. I like candles. You guys know I love my candles, but it's been too hot. Today it went up to 80, upper 80s, and then we got some rain, but it's still pretty warm. We're supposed to get more rain because the rain we got was like, it was like, and then that was it. So, but this coming up week, we're supposed to get a few days where it's going to rain. So I'm happy about that because we need that moisture going into winter. And the leaves are already starting to turn. My big tree in the front, which turns into a beautiful maroon red in the fall. That's already starting. It's got several places going. So my son planted that tree for me, and that was several years ago. When I moved here, there really weren't a lot of trees around my property. I mean, we had the little woods in the back, of course, but there weren't a lot of trees like there are now around my property. I planted all those. But back then, I still could do it. Now it's like, I have a hydrangea that I have to plant, and it's like a big project. So things have changed a lot in the 23 years since I moved here. And, I plan on staying in this house. I had built this house with a thought in mind that it would stay my retirement home. And even though it's got 2 floors, I'm planning on just living on the first floor eventually. Now my bedroom's upstairs and I have a bathroom upstairs. And my grandson has 2 of the bedrooms up there. I have one, but one of them is his bedroom, which is also kind of my craft room. And I didn't want to move all that stuff. So my crafts are all like on the perimeter of the room against the wall. And, the rest of the room he can do with what he wants. But he's got that, and his office is up there. So he works from home. He works in networking. So that works out well for him. But there was certain things that I didn't want to move around. Now for me, my closets are all full. I got him like a freestanding closet that's kind of in front of my closet because I don't switch my wardrobes around. I just keep everything in a closet. So I have a closet for dresses and sweaters, and then I have a closet for my pants and shirts, and they're all sort of mixed together, and one for my summer clothes, and I didn't change that either. So, I mean, eventually, I know my grandson will want to get a place of his own. There's no hurry whenever he's ready and he decides. He bought a new car, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. He paid that off, so now he's saving for a place of his own. And with the cost of housing anymore, it's like, whoa. I don't know. It's going to be so hard for these young people to buy a house because the cost is so prohibitive. So when I had this house built, and like I said, that was 23 years ago, I had upgrades put in the house. I think the base price of the house was like 170 some thousand. 23 years ago. And by the time I did all the upgrades and, I did electrical upgrades and everything that isn't basic is an upgrade when you're building a house. So, because the builders put the cheapest of the cheap in, and there were just things that I wanted. And I figured, well, I might as well do it while I'm working. I mean, I was working as a nurse at the time. I was making decent money. I wasn't going to be getting rich on it, but, I did what I could afford. So by the time I got done building this house, I ended up spending like $198,000 on it. Now, I had a house before that I had with a significant other. So he ended up buying me out. So I did pay off a good chunk of this house with that money. So, and then I got it all paid off before I retired. So that worked out well. But my neighbors now, they do not have a basement. They do have like a dining den like I have. But no basement, and I have a finished basement. It wasn't finished when I moved here. I hired a friend's son-in-law, and he did an excellent job. So he finished the basement for me, and I probably spent another maybe $10,000, not quite, on the basement. So, I did have the ceiling finished, but he put in a kitchen, and I had a bathroom put in down there. So those were all upgrades. Those were things that did not come with the house. But he finished one of the rooms that was actually supposed to be a storage room. We turned that sort of into a bedroom. And what else? The walls I did have finished by the builder, but this fellow I hired also put a kitchen in down there for me. So just it's a very small kitchen. So the house next door does not have any of that. They have no basement. It's on a slab. Their yard is nowhere near as nice or as big as mine. Their lot is more narrow. When my best friend and I built these two houses, she has the attached cluster. We were actually the first ones to build on this street, and we got to sort of, what are you doing? Are you being a silly boy? We were actually the first ones on the street, so we got to pick the primo lots. So the lots that we picked are bigger than the other lots, and the cost was the same. So she sort of guided us to these two lots. But anyway, I'm making a long story out of a short one. So they just put that house up for sale, and they're asking $275,000 for that house, which I think is absolutely ludicrous. I think that's ridiculous. I hope they don't get it, because if they do, our taxes are going to be going through the roof, and we just had our taxes raised. So, and here in Ohio, they're talking about doing away with the real estate taxes after a certain age, which would be wonderful. But you know how it goes with bureaucracies. It could be 10 years down the road. And, you know, who knows where I'll be by then. I could be a lot of places or no place. So anyway, that's the story of me and my house here. And yeah, I'm just trying to stay here comfortably, not always have a to-do list as long as my arm. And the older you get, I used to DIY a lot of things. Actually, most things I DIY'd. I mean, I didn't obviously do builder stuff. I wasn't that good at DIYs, but, you know, basic things. I mean, through the years, I've laid floor tiles. I've done a lot of painting of the rooms. I did that myself. I've made drapes and curtains, you know, installing shelving, all that stuff. So I've done a lot of that. I did reupholster a chair once. But, you know, as the years pass and I find myself with less and less energy, and that might be my fault because I'm not big into exercising. But I try and keep moving. I try and keep doing as much as I can. But, you know, as you get older, a lot of times the problem is you don't have the money and you can't DIY a lot of things yourself. So some things just kind of go by the wayside due to necessity. So, but I figure I'm going to have to save up some money because I do need some help getting my garage in order. I've talked about that before. Getting the stuff out of the attic. I could do it, but it's got the pull-down ladder, and I just feel like I should not be climbing ladders, pulling down big bins and things. I don't feel that's safe for a 75-year-old. I just don't think that's safe. So, you know, you either don't do anything or you don't do certain things, or you hire somebody to do certain things, or you have to do it yourself. And then it takes, you know, 3 or 4 times as long because you have to keep taking breaks in between, or it takes you days or weeks to do things that it used to take you just a day or two to do. So, but it's okay. You know, I mean, it's okay. I still feel like I'm doing all right. And so there we have it. So tomorrow I have to go for my yearly physical at my primary care doctor. So that shouldn't take too long. But anyway. So, all right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share, and thanks for watching.